Welcome back to the continuation of the 9-axis edition of the Association of Outcast Businessmen with me, your host, Doja Bro. Love you guys, and let's get right on to it with the next question I just stopped off at the last video, which is question 30. Everyone should speak at least 2 languages. Now, I don't speak 2 languages, but I would fucking love to be that smart. I think everyone should, but it's not saying it's mandatory. It's saying should. I say strongly agree. Everyone should at least speak 2 languages because that just opens up your abilities to talk to more people. Lasting peace leads to prosperity. That, I mean, yes and no. Because when you have lasting peace, your civilization becomes degenerate. Because there's nothing to fear, so they just start complaining about how good they have it. Well, they're not complaining how good they have it, they're complaining about the shit they don't have, even though they have it perfectly fine. So I'm gonna put neutral / unsure, but I would say if I was gonna pick agree or disagree, I'd probably pick disagree by the tiniest margin, but I'm personally neutral. Police should be regulated more. That depends. That really depends on where you come from. Like Brazil, yeah, they need to be regulated. In America, yeah, they need to be regulated. In Germany, not so much because they're a fucking joke in Germany. I've heard about that. I didn't know a lot about the place. In the UK, yeah, they don't need to be. They need more people. They need actually fucking. There's places where it needs to be more regulated, and places where it needs to be less regulated. So I would say agree. Just for the majority of countries that have bad cops, they need to be more regular. Sex outside of marriage is immoral. Do I even have to say anything about it? Strongly disagree. We're all humans. I don't think animals fucking marry. Government should be as concerned about forest citizens as they are about those within their borders. No. If the foreign citizen is in the country, then yes, they should be concerned about them like their own citizens. But if they are outside the country, why the fuck would you care? They're not yours. They're not paying taxes. They don't even like your country. So I strongly disagree. You should only take care of those within your borders. If they're a foreign citizen in your borders, take care of them like they're your citizen. Strongly disagree. We should not allow any refugees. No, that's just. You have to allow refugees, but you have to make sure they're vetted, because fucking people can abuse the refugee system. That's been shown in Germany, Sweden, all that. So I disagree, but not strongly. Anybody who wants to enter the country should be able to. Yes and no. If a pedophile wanted to enter your country, should he be able to? That's all I'm saying. So I'm gonna say strongly disagree. If a terrorist wanted to come in, if you know that bitch who went to ISIS and wants to come back to the UK after her citizenship was revoked, do you think she deserves to be able to come back to the country? I say strongly disagree. Nations should cooperate whenever it benefits both of them. In the first casting of this, when it fucking just crashed, I said yes, you should always cooperate when both sides get benefits. Strongly agree. Religious organizations often provide better assistance to the poor than the government does. Now that is a hard one. Because nobody knows this, but when I was in America, I lived in Niagara Falls, and we were really poor. I mean, like, really poor. And my mom, she used to not be able to afford food or Christmas presents during winter, and we would go to the local church, and they would give us food and fucking toys and all that shit. And I do honestly believe that religious organizations like those are more beneficial to the poor people than the government is, because the government just treats us like shit. But that's a really hard question. I'm going to read that one more time. Religious organizations often provide better assistance to the poor than the government does. I will agree, but not strongly. Taxes should be increased on the rich to provide for the poor. Yeah. I just have one thing to say. If you think, oh no, just look at Jeff Bezos. Just look at Jeff Bezos. He's not paying any taxes. Fucking, I strongly agree. Absolute freedom makes a society dangerous. Yeah. If you have absolute freedom like you're an anarchy, that's fucking dangerous. It's just a known fact that you cannot have absolute freedom and absolute safety. I strongly agree. Religion does not belong in government. I agree. Because something based on feelings should not be a part of something that is based on protecting. I mean, that's a hard one, but I say it's better not to have religion in government. You can be religious and be in government, but you should not give an external force power within a government, because that's just bad. So I agree. Illegal immigrants should be deported in most or all cases. Now that I disagree with, because there's so many definitions of an illegal immigrant that you just can't deport all of them. Because imagine this, you're in a country, right? You're too poor to read. You're in a country, right, that you moved to. Let's say you're an Australian and you move to America, right? But you're a poor guy, and you need to get your passport renewed, right? But you don't do it in time. So if you don't get your passport renewed, you're technically an illegal immigrant because you don't have your right documentation. So should he be deported? I understand if you're like it's like you fucking sneak into the country and you're like abusing. There's definitely people who are illegal immigrants that should be deported. But I say disagree, but not strongly disagree. Constant state of war benefits a country. Yeah, look at America. There was like, what, 4 days when we were not at war? And we're like the most powerful? I mean, look at China, look at Russia. Fucking, yeah, I say agree. A constant state of war benefits a country, because that's just war, whether you like it or not, is profitable. That's a fact. War is profitable. I mean, fucking just look at Dick Cheney. Theocracy is a good system of government. No, strongly disagree. Look at the papacy, mate. Imagine all those kids. Just look at the papacy. Traditions are of no value on their own. Traditions are of no value on their own. That's a hard one. I'm gonna put a neutral slash unsure. I don't know really how to answer that one. A tradition is like something like fucking Santa Claus or religion and shit. But that's a really hard question. I'm just gonna put unsure. The government should not break up monopolies. That's the stupidest thing I heard. Do you think Amazon, Google, being monopolies, you know, having cornerstones on the market, not Google so much, but Amazon definitely. If you do not believe a monopoly should be broken up, you are an upper class fact. I will fucking kill you with my bare hands if you believe monopoly should not be broken up. I strongly disagree. The government should not break up monopoly. Strongly disagree. A nation's culture is important to protect. Yeah, that's just a nation's culture is what defines the nation. If you have a Germanic culture, what do you think you're gonna be? Fucking American country? No. No, you're not gonna be fucking. Imagine this. A nation's culture is what defines people. Fucking look at Turkey. They fucking changed the culture and they adapted all of Anatolia into the Turkish, and now they're fucking Turkish culture, and that's the fucking people. If you have a culture, if you have a cultural, national culture there, that can be claimed to be a part of your territory, part of your rightful land. So I strongly agree. You need to protect the culture. People should have to work for anything they get. I agree. I agree. Not strongly agree because they shouldn't have to, work to get their rights and shit. But they should have to work to get fucking items, houses, water. Not water, but fucking. You can't just get everything handled to you on a golden platter. That makes you into a horrible human being. So I'm gonna agree. Border protection is important. Yeah, I agree. I strongly agree. If you don't have good border protection, what's keeping the other countries from running in and killing all your fucking civilians? I strongly agree. Society cannot function without leaders and followers. Yeah, they can't. You can't make a society without people who are doing the work and people who are managing the work. That's just obvious. You can't have an organization without organization. It's that's it. You just cannot. It doesn't work like that. Fucking animals, bacteria, all that shit have fucking leaders and followers. I'm just saying. I strongly agree. Any deals with other countries that want any deals other countries want must be bad for us. Any deals other countries want must be bad for us. Neutral. I don't know how to answer that because is it like, do you want a treaty? Like it can benefit both of us, but if they benefit more, that can be neutral too, I'm sure. If we accept immigrants at all, it is important they assimilate into our culture. Yeah, I agree. You should keep your culture, but you should become a part of the local fucking culture. Like if you segregate yourself, why would the people there say, hey, this guy, he completely disrespects our culture. He won't even take the time out of his day to learn some of it and not even see if he likes it. Why the fuck do we have him? I agree. They should at least try to assimilate someone into the culture. Keep their own culture. Keep the parts they like. I mean, not the parts they like. Keep the parts that are good from their culture and good from our culture and make a better culture. I agree. That's culture mixing. You might think I'm liberal now, but no. Local governments should have more power than they currently do. Strongly agree. Fucking federal governments, when done right, they give a lot of power, not a lot, but they give a good amount of power to local governments because the local governments can know the fucking needs and wants of their local people better than the federal will ever. So I strongly agree. They need more power. Basic things needed to live, such as healthcare, are rights. Yeah. A person should not have to go into millions of debt because of a fucking hospital bill. That's just insane. I strongly agree. Whistleblowers should be protected, should be strongly protected. I strongly agree. If we didn't have Edward Snowden, how would we know about fucking government spying on us and shit? If we didn't have whistleblowers and the fucking fascists in the Soviet Union, how the fuck we would know that they've been killing Jews? They've been killing their own people for the fucking sake of their ideologies. I strongly agree. You need to protect whistleblowers. Whistleblowers aren't snitches. They fucking blow the whistle when the government does something really fucked. They're not fucking snitching out somebody to oh, he's doing some drugs and he passed the red light. That's not a whistleblower. A whistleblower is somebody who looks on the inside and is like, okay, this is fucked. This is this is going to damage people, and this is going to compromise their liberties without them knowing about it. So I strongly agree, you need to protect the whistleblowers. I support regional unions such as the European Union. Yes and no. I do support unions. They are necessary and they are good. But the European Union, that's fucking just a Byzantine bureaucracy. It's like, you know, fucking the structure. Who do you think we vote for the leaders of the European Union? No. They get empowered by people who are voted into power, who are the people don't decide who goes into the EU Parliament. It's fucking the politicians in the country. They send people to the European Union, and then there's a bunch of representatives, and then they vote for people who they want to go onto the main board. I do not support the European Union, but I do support regional unions, so I'm gonna have to put agree, but understand this, I hate the European Union. It's a good idea, but Germany and France just fucking pull that shit right down. Fucking Angela Merkel, dumbass Pope. My nation should stay out of international affairs. No. No. If it wasn't for the US, what the fuck do you think was going to be happening to the South China Sea? What do you think it fucking... if we didn't intervene, there's a lot of shit that wouldn't happen that was bad if we did... that wouldn't happen if we intervened, because intervening can be a good and bad thing, but you need to intervene in national affairs. If you stay out of them, you'll be left behind, and then they'll eventually gang up on you. I strongly agree. The United Nations needs more power. Yes, yes, they need so much more power. It's fucking ridiculous. They're becoming basically the new League of Nations. Fucking hell, they have so little power. They can't do anything. It's such a fucking stupid idea. Honestly, the US is the only one who spends enough the actual amount of money required. They've spent more than... When you sign up for the League of Nations, you need to spend, it's like Europe and all that. There's like people who, you need to spend at least like 2% of your GDP on military, and no one else does that besides the US. It fucking pisses me off. They need more power. Strongly agree. The government should support and only recognize one religion. Strongly disagree. The government should not support any religion over any other, and should not recognize one religion. They should recognize all of them. I just strongly disagree. Victimless crimes such as drug use should not be crimes at all. Yeah, I agree. If it's a victimless crime and no one's getting hurt, and no one hurting himself, I agree. Not strongly, because there's some victimless crimes that... A crime, in my definition, is when you actively fucking hurt somebody, or, you know, do something that's not in the benefit of them and only benefits you. But if you're like, you know, if you're not disbenefiting anyone, why the hell should it be a crime? Agree. Local governments can understand their citizens better than the national government could. Strongly agree. That's just a fact. I mean, look at the UK. Just fucking, that's so shit. London controls pretty much everything. And, you know, local governments, they barely have any fucking rights. So, I strongly agree. People should have equal opportunities to succeed. I strongly agree. That doesn't mean they will succeed equally. That means they have the opportunity to. So, I strongly agree. Now, let me just check the time. And this has nearly been 20 minutes. Jesus Christ. Well, okay, so this one's going to be a bit longer than the other ones. I'm very sorry about that, but I probably can just split it. Nah, I'm not going to split it. Alright, I'm going to end this recording right now, and then I'll jump on to the next one. Let me see. Yeah, alright. Yeah, I just read the question real quickly. I'll meet you guys back soon. Bye-bye.